Good morning, everyone. It's Rafe from the future. We got cut off rather abruptly last time due to an untimely death. So we will be picking up right where we left off. Basically just redoing that last section of the castle and continuing on to the last bosses. Without further ado, I give you the finale of Magic Knight Rayearth for SNES. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, that just happened. It's a good thing this game doesn't have a ridiculously high encounter rate we have to deal with again. On cue. So, basically what we've figured out from that is if we get unlucky, the random encounters, like, we either need to level up more, which does not sound terribly fun, or we need to just accept the risk that if 3 enemies decide to use AoE effects on the same turn, we just lose. I mean, I will say, I saw a number pop up on one of the guides I was looking at, and it said something about ending in the, like, high 40s to 50 range for levels, and I was just staring at it like, how... That feels really, really high. We're at 37 right now. And, yeah, that death really encapsulates why that might have been a recommended level. I, again, was really hoping that by the time we get to... like, if we can get through this castle... there should be a second checkpoint along the way before we get to the boss, and we should be in good shape if we can just get to it. Like, we're going to get enough levels that we should be able to beat the game. Where are we at on hit points? Okay. I mean, honestly, even if we do get a few more levels, Hikaru getting enough levels to be, like, to be able to survive 3 AoEs does not leave us in a good place in that situation. Like, that would mean she survives, and we have to still pick everybody back up while we're still getting attacked by 3 enemies. So yeah, I think we just have to take our chances unless we really want to grind. We'll give it one more shot, and if I get shut down again, we'll do the grind. I am, quite frankly, not doing that without a speed up option. Do you think I should be moving Hikaru back into the front for those finishing situations where we're just finishing something off? Let's go ahead and Jade Power again, just to top everybody off. Single enemy. Think, yeah. So a lot of these hallways are these long, like, winding S curves. This is me being paranoid. But better safe than sorry. We're gonna go cheerful. Actually, no, we could just do a regular cheer cube on Fu. Just in case one of them attacked during that, or before Fu got to heal. This will take everybody back up to full. And just enough MP to do an Azure Roar. This will not kill, though. Okay. We're good. All physical attacks. We do not have enough heart cubes. That might be a problem. And I just wasted one of them on top of it. Need to remember I've got those Maxima orbs as well that I can call. This had better not just be a treasure chest. Oh, God. Or if it is, it better be something very useful. Sure, just keep attacking. Okay, Fu has a new attacking spell finally. Heart cubes. Thank God. And it continues on to a new stairway. Awesome. I'm not sure. Well, I guess the good news is that's a dead end pretty quickly. I was worried it was going to be a dead end much longer in. That's a single target. So the one thing I am going to take from this is also, I don't think I should be using food to heal outside of battle. I didn't realize how mismatched my items were. Okay, so that's a multi-hit attack for 40. I can probably get away with using Wind Fury twice with the same effect, and I might just have to heal a little. We're going to start being really stingy here. Umi's the only one I'm going to be doing full power spells with, because she is the most powerful spellcaster. And has kind of a middle range of MP. Anne doesn't need to be one of our... Or Anne isn't going to be... We're not going to need her for healing. Fu, I'm okay with using the mid-tier attack spell because it hits pretty hard. And it is also... cost efficient. Whereas Umi, I don't feel like she has a good cost-efficient multi-target spell. Okay, that's the last heart cube again. So when Hikaru runs out of MP this time, she's done. Like, we're not going to bother with her MP unless basically until I find a safe point, or if we end up in a situation where it feels needed. I hope there wasn't a save point back in one of those 3 rooms that I passed. But, and honestly, with the lack of heart cubes, honestly, I probably should have checked it anyway. But with the encounter rate, it doesn't feel worth it to check 3 separate rooms that might have treasure or something else valuable. Okay, single enemy, we are going all physical with this. I don't think we've seen this guy using like big scary physical attacks, so there's level 40. Flame Cry. We should not go down, even if both of the enemies use AoE at this point. But they're just doing physicals anyway. And let's just burn a maximum orb. Finish this off. That's obnoxious. And actually, real quick, cheer cubes. So we do have 3 heartfuls, which would be like a full mana, and then 3 origin cubes, which are HP and mana. I would like to make sure we have those available because I don't know how much we get, or if we get healed between the phases of the last boss. Like, if the last boss doesn't heal, but if we don't have heals between there's a very good chance we're going to run out of MP during that. Especially if it's as long as the last one was. So. We're going to go ahead and use the last bit of Umi's MP because this means she is now out. So we can theoretically... Yeah, I think we're going to use one heart full here. Which way was I going? That looks right. Oh, thank you. That is exactly what I needed. And actually, we're going to go ahead and be safe with that in mind. And we are going to top Hikaru back off. Because I feel like we still have enough. This is going to get us safer through the last few encounters that we're probably going to get than if we just relied on Umi and Fu and burned through the rest of our maximal orbs, which would probably still do it. I could probably start burning through the Fario earrings as well on those single encounters, but most of the single encounters haven't been... Like, I felt like we have been fine just punching through them. It's like 42? 41. Once again, that winding path just to maximize how far you have to walk. This final dungeon really gives me the impression that they realized that they needed to make the game a little longer, and so they just turned some straight hallways into curvy hallways, or something more, something along those lines, or maybe they just didn't have the space. I don't know. It feels very arbitrary. This is terrifying. Going. I think with the levels we've gotten, we're down to taking like 700 damage instead of 1,000. So, because our defenses have gone up as well, so we might still survive even if they do a triple here. But I don't think I want to take any chances because these are one of the enemies that can use AoE. I feel like we should be getting close to this save point. So I am also okay being a little bit generous with spellcasting, but I don't want to go too overboard with Fu offensively. In fact, let's go Maxima Orb. We still have 9. I do love that these enemies are called Kick Rocks. Like, I realize that the intention is that they are a rock, a legendary bird creature that kicks you. But there's also the phrase, go kick rocks, that's like, get out of here. So, that feels like... That may have been an intentional choice with the fan translator, just having fun with it. Or it may have just been a literal translation that they didn't really consider that there was another meaning in English. So we've gone all the way up the right side of this hallway with torches, which is probably the end. And now we're going down the left side, which I assume is going to loop around to the bottom of it before bringing us to the last save point and the final boss. Okay, actually 42 this time. 2 steps. These guys and the little black dragon enemies are the ones that are making me nervous. Both of them have AoE that does relatively good damage, and if we get a bad turn order and they use AoE, we could be in trouble. Hikaru is out of MP again. This time I am genuinely not going to be refilling. Partially because I don't know if we need to. We're actually powerful enough to two-shot a lot of the enemies now, which we weren't before. That scared the crap out of me. I thought we hit a dead end after all that. I'm really hoping I can squeeze through this without having to use any more items. I know there's that whole, you know, if you don't use them, you're gonna lose them. You can't take them with you. Going into, you know, going into the end of the game here. Like, it's not like we're sitting on 99 potions. We have 3 full elixir, or 3 full ethers and 3 full elixirs. I think is where we're at. Yeah, 3 and 3. Like, we have several health items as well, but that's where we're at. If we're gonna get a random encounter right after the save point, I'm okay with it being a single like that. Awesome. Bonus treasure on each side. Another one... another single enemy. I'm actually gonna Maxima Orb here. Actually, no, I know what we should be using. We should be using Blastock. Blastock does light damage, does decent damage, and we've got 18 of them. And we just... Oh, no, that was Blaze, not Burst. There's 3 heart cubes, not, not fulls. But still, MP items, I think, are going to be the make or break for this boss gauntlet. Yeah, those treasure chests with the multiple encounters we got in between were not worth it. The reason we're saving these Fario earrings is because I think Fario earrings do more damage, and they are also... all of the last bosses are also single target. So my plan is to spam Fario earring with Fu whenever she is not actively fighting. Like when she doesn't have to heal. Trying to preserve as much MP as we can going into this last fight. We have cheer cubes to heal back up. We do have heart cubes if we end up needing to use 1 or 2 spells, but I feel like it's not worth it when we've got items to burn through. And honestly, I think going forward here, rather than burning through all of these items, I think the next thing I need to do is just burn through those shadow smokes. Because I don't feel like we need to do more fights right now. Like, this is very clearly the end. There we go. You have done well to make it this far, Magic Knights. Who is it? Show yourself! I am the master of this castle, Zagato. Welcome, Magic Knights. You're Zagato? For Princess Emerald and Sephiroth, we will defeat you! I will put an end to this Magic Knight legend with my own hands. $3,300. 1,600. Get our barrier up. That's ridiculous. Let's see how much Blue Ripple does. Nope. Not nearly enough. By the way, I will say, one of the worst parts about obscure fan-translated JRPGs that most people don't know about is there really isn't a lot in the way of guides for this game. I was really amused. The one I was able to, I think I found like 2, but one of them that I was able to find that I was really amused by was I think it was on fantasyanime.net, and it was every boss had question marks next to their hit points. Like, they wrote a guide and didn't bother actually trying to figure out how many hit points they had. Which, you know, that's it. It's your guide, it's your prerogative, but if you're not gonna put hit points, don't bother including the little thing and saying it's question marks. Just don't put them. Okay, phase 1 down. Did we get him? He came back to life? I will not be defeated. Lexus. Rise, Magic Knights. Let's do our best. Umi, Fu. Right, we defeat Sakato. Saphira will be saved. Yes, for all the people who've helped us, we have to save Princess Emerald. We cannot lose, no matter what. We'll save Princess Emerald so she can pray for Saphira's peace again. Why is Princess Emerald the only one burdened with praying for Saphira? Diablo! Saphira's pillar has no freedom. She exists solely to pray for this world's peace. Why must Emerald suffer such a painful existence? Is that a rune god? It was made for the express purpose of defeating you. This ends now, Magic Knights. So, we are into full-on mech territory here. I think we go Flame Sword here. This is a mech fight, right? We gotta go all out. And I was correct, it does not heal between, and we literally are 1 mana short of getting to use another one. So I think in this situation, rather than using an inferior one for my last, I think we go straight into Heartful on Umi. And just focus on the most powerful attack. Okay, that same burst attack. This is pretty much the same fight again, is the vibe I'm getting. This was like 2400. 2800. Okay. I'm getting slightly nervous with the turn order here, but I think Fu should be next. If she wasn't, we'd be in trouble. And by that I mean if Zagato was next. So his physical attacks hit harder, but for the most part, this is the same fight. So far. He has the same magic that does about the same damage. He hits a little bit harder physically. I'm not feeling particularly worried, which is maybe maybe a problem, but we'll go ahead and just keep going. And unless I start to see a concern, we'll just keep on as we are. I want to see what this does. Okay. Fario Earring is stronger. Okay. That's a new spell. And it did less. Okay. Honestly, Fu's hit points are the biggest concern I have with this fight. Or all the fights that we're dealing with for this. That's another new spell. That's single target. Okay. We can actually deal with that ourselves here instead of making Fu deal with it. So let's do Cheerful. We've got 5 of them. Let's use our max potions instead of our MP. That was more of a safety than a efficiency thing, as far as who did the healing. Okay. Emerald, please be free. I'm curious if we have control again between that fight and the actual last boss. Zuccato! Just now, did Zuccato die? No! No! Magic Knights. Yup. You will pay for this. We defeated Zuccato! Princess Emerald's wish finally came true! Now Saphiro is saved! And we can go home to Tokyo. Okay, we just need to find the princess. Okay, good. It does let me heal between. Perfect. So we're gonna... I'm gonna hope that it doesn't... There are random encounters when you go back. Okay. Noted. I feel like it is worth it to just rush down, get the save point, and come back. It means we don't have to use any items to heal. It means we don't have to do that fight again if something happens. Oh my god. This is a great example of, I wish they'd changed the rooms that the bosses were in versus the room that the, or not the bosses, the save point and the treasure. They could have flipped that, and this feels like a lot of a walk. And maybe it's because they didn't want us doing this. That is totally a possibility. Oh my god. The encounter rate is so ridiculous. Okay, let's just nuke everything. That was just a safety. We're probably okay, but I'm getting flashbacks, and the idea of that, or of us getting wrecked here after beating the the boss, is totally a thing I can see happening. God. Okay. I've gotten 3 more levels. Let's finish this off. I think we get a full heal between this one anyway, so this is probably dumb. But that's okay. That should do it. Okay, shouldn't be any more random encounters at this point. Let's head into the princess's chamber. And here we find... It's a woman! Who are you? I am Emerald of Saphiro. Princess Emerald? But when you helped us at Eterna, you were a little girl. They do look alike, the golden hair, the color of their eyes. They're the same. If you're Princess Emerald, we came looking for you. Zagato. We defeated Zagato. You? Princess? It was you who killed my beloved Zagato? For that you will pay. Magic Knights. Rayearth. What does this mean? Is she a fake? No, there's no mistake. She is indeed Princess Emerald, one that had abandoned her duty as Sephiroth's pillar. I don't get it. The princess is the one who called us here. Why is she attacking us? Girls from another world, you must carry out your true mission. Princess Emerald's true wish. Princess, we came here to grant your wish. My wish? My wish is to avenge Zagato's death. I'll kill you, Magic Knights. This is fine. I'm sure this is fine. Oh. Intended death. I won't kill you right away. I'll take my time torturing you to death. Why? Magic Knights. It's a Emerald, so the one in the Rune God was a fake after all. No, this is indeed me. The me who forgot her duty and chose to live for her beloved. The foolish me. Then the one you love is Zagato? Yes, the pillar is fated to pray for Sephiroth's peace at all times, and yet I have fallen in love with him. In no way. I was not abducted. I've secluded myself in order to pray for Sephiroth, but even then I could never get Zagato off my mind. Then it wasn't Zagato's fault that Sephiroth was overrun by monsters. In Sephiroth, your will determines everything. The pillar can wish for peace from anywhere. No way, then why did you summon us? To have you kill me. The pillar cannot take her own life, nor can the people of Sephiroth inflict harm upon her. That is why the pillar has the power to summon the Magic Knights from another world. So that they can kill you? We can't do something like that. Who is the one sealing me? Never mind, killing the Magic Knights comes first. I'll kill you! I'll kill every one of you! This rate, Sephiroth will completely cease to be. Magic Knights, wield us and fight. Right now, the last remnants of her sanity are holding back the hatred, but who knows for how long. It's just too sad. Ugh. Prepare to die. I beg you, please, kill me. Let me go to Zagato. Princess Emerald's true wish. To end the suffering, so I can be with Zagato. Please, listen to my selfish request. So, this series is a lot. It is, for the most part, a very light show. There's a lot of, reformed villains in it. You can see there now we're not taking 4,000 damage per hit. And then this ending is definitely a bit of a twist. You get here and find out that actually the pillar is basically forced to just exist for the sake of their people and not for themselves. And at a certain point, Emerald wavered and tried to do something for herself, which isn't really bad. It's just bad, happens to be bad for the world. The magic of this world is not necessary, or is the actual villain. And we end up in this situation where, we have to defeat Emerald to set her free. And theoretically, she has been the pillar for many, many years. And is just not able to keep doing it. We have two characters that are down HP, so we will heal. Next turn is going to be our MP heal. For anyone who was making comments about me being really over-concerned with those healing items, we just ran out of full ethers again because the MP costs in this fight are so high, and we will be and we're moving into the origin cubes. We only have 2 left. Stop hitting Foo. Like, genuinely, we could just use a freaking cheer cube at this point. But I want to keep her over 2,000 just because her health is the lowest, and I don't know how much Emerald's AoEs do, if she has any. And as always, I am going to go into a bit of the game as we get into once we get to the credits, and we can really talk about the details. But one thing I want to mention that I'm going to bring up is the lack of variety. The fights get very repetitive, and the reason for that is largely just that even though there are however many spells, they're all the same spell. And you use whichever one is the highest that you have MP for. And you just keep using it over and over again until you run out of MP, and then you heal. And that's, yeah. We'll talk about it more in the credits now that we're here. I was expecting the fight to keep going. Okay. And so the girls are suddenly... You haven't saved Sephiru yet. I want to go back. What? Okay, apparently that's where it ends, which this is the ending of season 1. There is a second season of the anime that goes into that. This show in particular has a lot of vibes of, like, they animified, animeified? I don't know what the way to put that is. The Neverending Story. That's always the vibe I've gotten from it, and especially with the structure of the 2 seasons, where it's like the first season is this initial quest, and the second season is going back to kind of clean up the mess and getting me into more of the details. This doesn't happen very often for games that I actually take the time to finish, but this is definitely a game you don't need to play if you didn't pick that up. It is a simple RPG, and it is a decent story presented decently. The graphics are pretty good, the sound is pretty good, the gameplay is not great. There's a lot of randomness, a very high random encounter rate. The accuracy rate on physical attacks and the lack of damage from physical attacks means that you basically spend the entire game spamming spells. Whatever, either your best single target against one enemy or your best multi-target, occasionally healing and occasionally using items, and occasionally using a lower powered spell or MP efficiency if the damages are close enough. There's no customization with the characters, though. There's no equipment, there's no skills, there's no choices in that regard. And for an anime-based game, it feels like they really could have gone a little further with cutscenes and making the story impactful and getting that resonance and flash. The sprites are great, and they are very expressive sprites even. But I feel like this is an example where, like, we had a few cutscenes early on, and the later ones, or the second half of the game, there were no anime-style cutscenes except for a very brief one as they were getting to Zagato's castle. And it was literally just a scene of the three of them in their full armor. I feel like that would make it at least more... It would give a little bit more justification and weight to playing the game. Like, it would make it worth it to slog through all of the encounters. At the end of the day, I'm glad I replayed it. It's a good one to... Like, I'm glad it's out there. This was a very early fan translation project as well. 1999. But for a game that came out at the same year as, like, Chrono Trigger, it could have been a lot better. And at the end of the day, there's not a lot of replayability because of what it is. So, hopefully you enjoyed watching it. I do feel like this is one that, I mean, it's worth watching or playing through once, but do it with a speed up if you're going to play it. That's another good way to put it. It's very slow. And the first time I played it, I remember enjoying it a lot, but that's because I played it on speed up. So yeah, I think we're just wrapping here. I thought there might be another cutscene, but apparently that's where it leaves it. If you want to know what happens, check out the second season of the anime or read the manga. And you can see what happens when they go back to Sephiroth, now that they've destroyed the person whose will is keeping the fabric of the place together. Yeah. I'm not 100% sure what is up next for me. I'm kind of trying to keep my pace a little bit. So we're going to be finishing up Grime, and I might start another RPG in the meantime. If you want some, actually, my current plan, and we'll see how it works out, is Phantasy Star 4. So when I was talking about cutscenes that they could have done, that game will be a great example as a counterpoint to something that has great anime style, like, cutaways for cutscenes. Genuinely one of my favorite early games in how it handles those scenes. So, hopefully you have enjoyed. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on my channel. If you like RPGs, there are lots of other better RPGs on this this channel that we've played through, where we actually talk about story and strategy and lore and all the goodies. And if you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. If there's another game you'd like to see, please mention it. It'll go on the list TM. I make no promises. There are like 300 games on the list, but they are not in any particular order if you have a good suggestion. And as always, have a good one. We'll catch you next time.